So why do positive affirmations not work? So a big trend going around is that you should tell yourself more positive affirmations. You should have more positive thinking. You shouldn't be so negative on yourself. You shouldn't really criticize yourself. You should always think positive thoughts. You should always tell yourself that you're beautiful in the mirror. Should always tell yourself that you love yourself. And you should do these positive affirmations. Uh, but it doesn't work. Like telling yourself that you love yourself in a mirror every single day doesn't make you love yourself. It just makes you lie to yourself, really. I have tried positive affirmations a few years ago, and I would do like sleep programs and play sleep affirmations before I would go to sleep and try to reprogram my subconscious mind and to really think positively, but it didn't work. Because the reason it didn't work is because I didn't believe in the thinking. And it wasn't until I started meditation and microdosing where I learned the skill to really change my thinking and like change and have more positive thinking. And I can really look at my thoughts from an outside perspective and really figure out if a thought benefits me or if it hurts me. And if it benefits me, I choose to react to that thought and engage with it. But if it hurts me, I ignore it and think something else. And not a lot of people have this skill. Not a lot of people can really look at their thoughts and decide whether or not they want to have those thoughts. A lot of times people have thoughts and then they believe whatever they're thinking. And they believe whatever they're thinking. And so if they have some negative thinking, if they have some insecurities, and they tell themselves every day and they actually believe it. So what you have to do is really believe. So the biggest way to change this and change the way you're thinking, instead of like lying to yourself with positive affirmations, telling yourself that you love yourself, you would actually need to learn how to love yourself. And once you actually learn how to love yourself, then you actually believe that you love yourself. And anytime you have thoughts that are bad or that seems like self-hatred or self-sabotage, you can instantly just look at it and be like, oh, that thought doesn't benefit me. Like that thought is useless. It doesn't mean anything. Like that's just like foggy, dirty water. Like I'm not gonna play with it. I want to play with the clean water, basically. That's what you have to do. You would need to change your focus. If you have a bad thought, you'd be like, recognize the thought. Oh, this is a bad thought, but I don't have to react to it. I don't have to conversate with it. I don't have to go down a whole little dialogue with myself. I could just choose to think something else. So the best way I can explain this, instead of talking about like self-love and insecurities and stuff, even though that is a good example, the best simple example that a lot of people can understand is like, imagine that you were trying to force yourself to do something like do the dishes, right? Doing the dishes, your brain will tell you, hey, this is a waste of time. You don't really have that much energy to do it. It's just too much. It's too much suffering, and you shouldn't do it. But if you believe those thoughts and you engage with them, then your brain will convince you not to do those dishes. So to change your thoughts, right? You need to, when you tell yourself, hey, I'm gonna do the dishes, right? Every time a bad thought comes at you, so let's say a bad thought comes, so a bad thought would be like, hey, don't do the dishes, there's too many, right? And then you could say, or you don't have to react. You could be like, I'm just gonna start and just try to get it done, one by one, right? So you didn't react to that bad thought. You replaced it with a better thought. And a lot of people, they would react with this bad thought. So if you react with a bad thought, you spiral it into more bad thoughts. But if you react to the positive thinking, you spiral into more positive thinking. So so if you tell yourself, hey, there's too many dishes and it's just too much work, and your brain will be like, well, I gotta get it done, but I can get it, and then your brain will be like, well, you can get it done later. And then you'll be like, well, I can just go ahead and get it done now. And then your brain will be like, well, you could actually go play video games right now if you want. And so then now you have like all of these thoughts, and now you're just very irrational and you're very lost. And now you're just lost, and those thoughts aren't benefiting you, they're actually hurting you. They're preventing you from doing the thing that you wanted to do, which is you wanted to do the dishes. But now you decided to believe into these negative thoughts, and now it's convinced you not to do it. So basically, to change the way you think, you look at your thoughts, and then you be like, okay, that's positive, I'm gonna react to that. And then you could be like, that's negative, I'm not gonna react to it. I noticed it, it's there, but I'm reacting to the positive, because you're going to have negative thoughts like every now and then. Even if you're like the most positive person ever, you're going to have negative thoughts, right? But the trick is not to react to that, because once if you react to a negative thought, like I said, it spirals into more negative thinking. And the best way to change the way you think and choose how you want to think is, I would say meditation would be an easy way to do this, and focusing on your breath. But you need to really look at your thoughts and be like, okay, does this thought benefit me, or does this thought hurt me? Ask yourself that every time. Ask yourself that every time you get a chance to observe your thinking, or whether or not your thoughts are benefiting you or hurting you. And then if you could find out what thoughts are hurting you, every time you have those thoughts, just don't react to them, and react to the positive version of that thought. And then you could slowly, this is what positive affirmation is supposed to and claims, this is what positive affirmation claims to do, but this is the right way to do it. And over time, you will become a more positive thinker, and you learn the skill to choose what to think. And you get in like an insane belief in yourself. So with anything that you want to do, you can do, because you believe in yourself. And if you have like a negative thought, like doubt or something, like self-doubt, you don't react to it, and you react to the positive, which is like hyping yourself up, like you can do this, you got this, you got it in the bag, you're gonna knock it out. Instead of having doubt, saying, oh, you can't do this, and reacting to that, you react to the positive thinking, and you learn the skill, and then it's gonna spill over into all areas of your life. In order to become a more positive thinker, you would actually need to believe that you are a positive thinker, and you need to know that you have full control of what you want to think, and you can choose how you want to think. And you need to fully believe in positive thinking and choose to think that way. So yeah, that's it for the video. Try to become a more positive thinker, and I hope that I explained this well or easy. It's kind of hard to talk about, but I hope you guys could try to implement this into your life, really use it to make your life better. But yeah, that's it for the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.